Let's talk about the basic job of a neuron. Basic job of a neuron is to take in a large amount of input. This input comes from two sources: senses, vision, hearing, and chatter from other neurons. Now, the majority of inputs is coming from other neurons. Remember, 100 billion neurons, each with, let's say, 100K connections. The total number of connections is astronomical. So while we get lots of sensory input, the majority of input to neurons is other neurons. These inputs also come from two forms. We have excitatory inputs. These inputs tell the neuron to go, fire. By fire, I mean the action potential. Inhibitory inputs say, relax. Don't fire. All right. Second job of a neuron is to compile or add up all of these inputs, because at any given moment, any given neuron is getting bombarded with inputs. Adding up all these inputs is called summation. So this compiling or adding up is called summation. Now, understand, if I get 50% and 50%, what does my cell do? Nothing. Because these cancel each other out. Okay? That's what this summation is all about. Third, determine whether there has been enough excitation. After summation is done, do we have enough excitation? Because thankfully our cells have a threshold. This is excitation level. This is time. If the excitation coming into our neuron is low, the neuron says, meh, not going to do anything, not important, ignore, and no action potential. But on the other hand, if we go like this and then we suddenly get a rise in excitation, then the cell will fire an action potential. So there's this threshold. The cell says, these low level inputs, bzz, I'm going to ignore. This is noise. Okay? But if we do have enough, then we generate and send off an electrical impulse, and that is called the action potential. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about the action potential in this class. So if I had to come up with a basic job of a neuron, it would be these processes, and it goes in this order. Here's the basic structure of a neuron. We'll go over all of these terms. This is Larry the neuron. Flow of information, just like direction of messages says here, is left to right. And that's always going to be the case in my drawings. Left to right. You know what? Let's stop this video and I'll come back with a new one and we'll really get into the parts of Larry.